So I'm guessing that means it wants me to hook up my controller. I can do that. Would be weird, but I can do it. Yeah, it works with controllers, so it wants me to use my controller. It's very weird. Also, it takes up my whole screen again. You hate to see it.
Dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit. Also, there's no reason for me to have the chat on the side because it's not going to catch up anymore because of how this game works. Takes up the full screen. Oh boy. Yeah, it makes sense, Azure, but oh well, I already plugged in my controller. It's fine. Okay, let's see. Hakuoki. Yeah, you guys don't exist anymore. Sayonara.
Been cancelled.
Yeah, goodbye. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm gonna make myself smaller so that I take up less of the screen. There we go. Tiny Anya in the corner. Very tiny Anya. And then, for the final step, so that Rolf can see the screen, there's that. Oh, and also turn down the volume because it's at 100%, and we don't want that. 23% seems good. Or 20% seems good. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. If Idea Factory. Oh, this is much quieter.
Design Factory.
I'm gonna have to turn up the volume.
Automato.
Let's go 47. Let me know how the audio is, if it's still quiet.
Extremely quiet.
Yeah. I'm hoping the... Yeah, it's extremely quiet. Yeah, it's kind of quiet for me too. Oh boy.
This was like sort of a semi-historical thing, right? Because I
Yeah.
recognize some of the things.
Yeah, like they're all based off real people, basically. Like it's all real people, rather than...
See, because some of these characters have been used like a lot of times, so it's very fun. Always fun to see how.
Yeah, because they're all special, like Japanese historical characters, you know, like historical people.
Yeah. It's fun to see how like what the similarities and differences are between their portrayals.
Yeah, and this game very much is very historical based. Like you get like entries, like special entries about like the actual historical events. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that this is a me game for peeps. But this is very story focused and very history focused. Let me know if it's better now, Azure. So yeah, even though this is technically a dating sim because you get with like the different guys or whatever. It's really not focused on that really at all. It's mostly focused on like the plot and the historical elements mixed with the magical elements. And I'm thinking, so first off, there's a couple routes here and characters that I won't recognize because it's not in the original game. So there's that. The other thing is, I'm thinking we'll just pick whatever options we feel like picking and we'll see where we go with it, is what I'm thinking.
Right.
What a weeb game, heck yeah.
How the heck are we going to divide roles? Because I assume most of the characters are going to be male, probably.
How about, like, well, first off, let me see. Where's the, see, you get a whole encyclopedia and everything. So here's, toggle voices. So, originally, it's voice acted, but I'm thinking we could turn off the voices.
Alright.
So that then...
I don't know if it's like fully voice acted or not.
Yeah, it is fully voice acted, but I can turn off the voices. So I could turn them off, so then we all just like voice them ourselves.
Sure. It's more fun, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Text window. Text speed. Oh, you can even turn the romance on and off. Interessante. That's interesting.
Can you turn the romance extra on?
Yeah, heck yeah. Oh no, this just tells us, I think, how the, like, if you make right choices, then it'll let you know, I think is what that means. Back.
Let's grab some water real quick while you're setting
Okie
things up.
doke. Okay. I really wish I could change the size of the thing, but I can't, so I'll have to look at... Not turn off the romance being horny is canceled, heck yeah. Can we get a point of redemption to put a weed filter over Anya? Heck yeah. Let's go. Okay, so we'll start a new game, because I knew I have to put in my name. So we can leave the canon name, or we can put, yeah, this is Elden. Oh, that actually reminds me. I need to change the Twitch thing. That actually reminded me that I need to change it. Big beef. Hakuoki, let's go. Also, welcome to the stream, Alex. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Hakuoki, let's go. Hakuoki, Kyoto wins. Done. There we go. And also, heck yeah, this is absolutely Elden Ring. But yeah, so we can leave it as Chizuru, which means that when they say her name, it'll be Chizuru, or we can put in my own name. Yeah. Nightbot is mean like that.
Hello.
Hello. I'm trying to decide whether we should leave the canon name or put in my name.
I would just leave it canon, I think.
Yeah. Because then they'll actually say her name too. Oh, frick.
Cheeser.
Cheeser. There we go. Default is back. Oh.
Cheeser.
Cheeser. Yeah, her name's Chizuru Yukimura, and she's great. So yeah, the interesting thing about this game is, as I said, originally it was all one game called Hakuoki Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. But then now this is like a remake sort of the original game that has like extra routes in it, extra CGs, extra events that happen compared to the original. And I've only played the original, so I only know the stuff from the original. So there's probably going to be a bunch of stuff that I don't know from this. And of course, because of all the extra stuff that they added in, it's split into two halves. So the first half of the story you play in this game, and the second half you play in Edo Blossoms. So none of the routes are going to have a conclusion really to any of it. Because it's literally only half the story. But yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. Let's go. Yes! My name is Chizuru. This is a work of fiction. I mean, it kind of does because it's based off historical events, but I guess they kind of have to say that to avoid issues. Yee.
Maybe just filters out the weep and then it's just like a black screen.
Yeah. So this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive, no denying it. Even simple hellos between people passing in the street seemed warm and friendly. No, not that. Oh, that's how we open the save menu and stuff. I'm just testing out the controls real quick. Okay, that's how you do that. That's how you do that. No, that's how you quick save. No. Oh, I accidentally opened the Xbox widget menu.
RIP.
Rest in pieces. I was trying to find the auto button, but I guess there's no auto in this game, so I'll just have to click. They nodded and smiled to one another, as if family and not strangers about on errands. Still, there was something else as well. Something making the city feel strangely cold, almost as though there was a great invisible wall shutting out anyone wandering from the country.
Is there a way to make the text faster? Or?
Yes, there is a way to do that. I can open up settings. I already made it faster than it was.
Oh, it's still really slow.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just put it at the top.
Yeah. Up top.
I'm not sure if I belong here. No, that's all in my head. I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and both my mind and body were exhausted. Even so, tiredness was no reason to meander, and I feel sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to. Excuse me. I hesitantly stopped a passerby. I'm sorry, I seem to be a bit lost. Could you... What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I sighed and looked up at the darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set. People I'd spoken to showed me no unkindness, and they'd given me directions I needed, but... Was now really the best time to leave the city? Learning the person I'd hoped to visit had left town caused hope to seep from my crumbling resolve. The only person besides Father I could rely on in the city... besides Father I could rely on in the city who I could rely on... Dr. Matsumoto. That's a weird thing right there. Yeah. Okay, so our father is Kodo Yukimura, a Dutch educated doctor in service to the shogunate and the father of the protagonist. He has been missing since shortly after his arrival in Kyoto.
I've got the best education.
How do I check the other one? I guess I just don't. Dr. Matsumoto was a doctor serving the shogunate. I don't know why I was having so much Struggled. Oh my god, what is going on with my mouth?
It's from all the fast forwarding.
Yeah. All the Shogunate, a military government run by samurai. In this game, it refers to the Tokugawa Shogunate. I had never met him myself, but my father put a great deal of trust in the man. He had told me that if I ran into any trouble in his absence, I was to contact Dr. Matsumoto. Unfortunately, Dr. Matsumoto was out on business and would not return for some time. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. It is indeed rude to visit without warning, which is why I had sent a letter prior to my arrival. But it seems he had left before reading my letter. Perhaps I thought I should wait for a reply before traveling to an unfamiliar city. But I can no longer spend time waiting idly for news. It's our dad. The main character of this story, she travels to Kyoto in search of her father, and she consequently finds herself involved with the Shinsengumi. Wow, spoilers.
Since he's Dutch educated, I'll just give him a Dutch accent.
Heck yeah. Is something wrong, father? Otosan! He paused for a moment. He paused for a moment and looked at me.
It seems I must depart for the city of Kyoto.
Is it for business again? He left the house often during that period, sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone?
I'm afraid I can't say. A month, perhaps? Perhaps two?
Oh no. There was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous. He only smiled and nodded.
You needed Fred. I will be sure to send you letters often, so that you have no need to worry.
Okay, you promise?
This is really silly.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I want you to keep it the entire time you play him.
Oh no, it's gonna be like some super emotional scene later.
Yeah, it'll be great. Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived so often that I scarcely had the time to respond before another would well, oh my god! I can't talk anymore after that. Scar the doll killed my mouth. He told me that he worried about me being home all by myself. Then the letter stopped. A whole month passed with no word.
You're humorous.
Oto-san! They say Kyoto is full of ronin. Samurai who have left their master or who have been stripped of their privileges. It can also refer to a samurai who does not have a master to serve. It is not a safe place. Usually a samurai is played by their house, but refers to the domain.
I know what a house is.
Yeah, no duh. Refers to the domain or clan that a samurai serves. It can also be used after a fashion to refer to the specific person a samurai serves. That's interesting. Ronin who report to no house often rob people in order to make ends meet. They're nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of the samurai. Such is the state of the city of Kyoto, the city of Ronin. Small wonder then that I worried for my father. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I often found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Lost in thought, I didn't notice nightfall descend. If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the faintest idea of how long searching for him would take. I'd bought a negligible sum of money with me, enough to last me a month if used wisely. Finding father in this window of time was a must. Otherwise, I would have to depend on Dr. Matsumoto returning in this time, or else I'd be forced to return home without a word. Well, at any rate, I should try and be as frugal as possible. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Oh, snap! We're being raided!
Raiders. Hide.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, Mew, thank you so much for the raid! Ayo!
Welcome, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders! Welcome to the stream, Mew! I love you so much. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the raid! Ayo! Oh, thank you, Azure, for the shout out from you! Heck yeah! You're the best, Azure. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Fortunately for me, men's clothing assisted with keeping a quicker pace than women's. Kyoto presented many dangers to a young girl hoping to explore the city without direction. My disguise, such as it was, proved successful, and I'd safely made it all the way to Kyoto. Such success went to my head and led me to believe I could explore Kyoto as I pleased. But Kyoto is not a safe place. I should have remembered that. So basically right now I'm disguised as a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she's like, oh yeah, I'm wearing a male outfit, so it makes it easier to travel. Yeah, I'm untouchable, because now I look like a boy. I'm okay now. Also, some people may remember that I did that whole "it's me" graph. Like the picture with all the images of characters that I related to. This one, Chizuru, is one of those characters. And I think peeps will see that as we continue onward. Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that the city's hidden dangers didn't apply to me.
Hey, kid.
I was about to discover otherwise. I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 Ronin. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice calm, reaching nonchalantly for my kodachi. Originally a short katana, by the end of the Edo period, it referred to a large wakizashi. It was usually worn as half of a pair with a larger sword, such as a katana. My father encouraged me to take sword lessons. I kept with them, and I did rather well. I was confident enough in defending myself. Heck yeah, Azure. Azure, you are one of my bestest friends. And yes, there's too many of me. We're getting out of here. It's like the Maikos and Funabachis all over again. However, perhaps my overconfidence in myself is what served the situation at hand to me. I'd messed up and let my guard down, my fault. There was a chance I could take them on, but there were 3 of them and 1 of me.
Pretty nice blade you got there, kid.
Only then did I realize they were far more interested in my sword than they were in me.
Looks a bit much for a pup like this, right? Give it here, okay? We'll put it to good use.
But the sword wasn't just some blade I picked up. It was a family heirloom spanning generations. There was no way I could give it to the Ronin, though I had a feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was undoubtedly to retreat. I turned and ran as fast as my legs could.
Hey, get back here, little bastard.
Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I felt like I'd been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin cursing loudly. I ducked into an alley, flattening against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept farther into the alley. Someone left a couple sheets of wood leaning against one of the houses, a perfect hiding spot. What luck, I thought, kneeling down under them. This is my way to escape this mess. Huh? I was listening for sounds intently. A suspicious calm entered my mind. I expected to hear the Ronin yelling to each other, looking for me, but seconds turned to minutes. I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and have a look when... What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was more important. Still...
Damn you. So... What's this? Why don't you die? Damn it, we gotta get out of here.
It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something dangerous out there, something quite possibly lethal. Oh my gosh, my imagination conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories. Even so, I could feel an itch of curiosity. I wanted to know what was out there. Carefully, I peeked around the corner's edge. The cold reflection of moonlight upon a blade glared at me, and my eyes followed it to the arm that held it, clad in a coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no slower than it appeared, my hope vanished.
Help.
I I heard the Ronin stumbling to beg for his life. The person in the blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised.
Ah!
A high, screeching laugh cut the man's scream. The blade fell through the air like a butcher's knife rather than a sword. No skill, just death. The screen turned wet, caught, and disappeared like air leaving half-empty bellows. My eyes went wide. I had just witnessed a murder. Any strength I'd received vanished quickly. My legs gave way and I crumbled to the ground. My eyes widened like busted shells. He died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades fell, carving lines into the corpse. The soft slip of a blade through flesh, the silent creep of blood across ground. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw, animalistic violence. Whatever they were, it wasn't human. They were broken. I could feel my throat clench tightly, and a warm, dark smell brushed against my face. I slowly recognized the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I gonna do? What could I do? You have to run, Chizuru. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. This was the only chance I'd get. I had to... Ah! My body, still numb with fear, was unresponsive. I lurched sideways against the stacked wood, and with a rough clatter, it collapsed.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. The creature's turn, coats drenched in blood. Their eyes locked with mine and bore into me. Hideous grins split their inhuman faces, shaking with excitement at prey to slaughter. I had to run. I couldn't die yet, but my legs refused to move. Their hideous, cackling laughter echoed. I was going to die. My body was frozen with terror. I couldn't even scream. This was it. This was the end. Can you imagine if that's how it ended? Like, oh, well, game over.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Good game. Well,
Thanks for your money, sucker.
yeah, thanks for your money, suckers. What? I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light and the soft splash of blood. I could feel it warm and sticky. Bile began to rise in my throat, but before disgust took hold, I heard a voice.
Really?
The words suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy.
And here I was, planning to take care of them all. Can't you have picked another day to work fast, Saito?
As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he were enjoying himself. Do we want to like just switch, like whoever, like you pick the first person, I pick the second person, therefore kind of like that?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll be Saito then. I only did my job. Unlike you, I take no pleasure in battle. Also, the guy you first spoke as is my favorite guy in the game. He's my fave.
I'll do my best then.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say.
He laughed. You don't even bother to deny it. The man called Saito sighed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked at me.
Maybe, but if you just sat back and let them kill the kid, you could have saved us some trouble.
His tone was light, but it confirmed my fears. I may have escaped the schemes of the Ronin, but I was ensnared by something much darker. Perhaps that decision is not ours to make. Huh? Then, who was in charge of these two? Their conversation led me to believe they were part of an organization. As I thought about it, I recalled hearing about men with blue coats. Ah! My
The whole
thoughts.
game is just like one long chain of people saving you from the people that.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. It's like every single like time we almost die, somebody else comes in, and then somebody else comes in, and then somebody else comes in.
Somebody kills your pursuer and then becomes your pursuer.
Yeah, it would be great. I love it. My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone off his smooth, dark hair. For reasons I couldn't fathom, in that moment, the light on his hair made me think of the wistfulness of flower petals. It was almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season.
This is a new character, right?
Yeah, this is a new character, but he leads the other two.
Luck is not your friend tonight.
His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Blue-white moonlight lit his slender face and shone from the blade pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword making my breath catch. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, but somewhere behind them, I could catch a glimpse of something else. There could be no doubt that he was prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. Not kindness, but perhaps mercy?
Run and I will kill you. Do you understand?
I nodded. There was no doubt he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced and put his sword away, sighing. What? I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one.
So this is the one that got
Yeah.
the left, I guess.
Yeah.
What? Wait, Hichikata, are you sure about this? The kid saw everything. That can't be good.
I also... Oh, they blink now! That's so good. In the original, they were just still pictures. They added some little flair to the sprites. That's awesome. As he spoke to the man he called Hijikata, his eyes narrowed. The man called Hijikata frowned back at him.
Shut up. If you keep that up, you know what we're going to have to do.
It was clear enough that what I'd seen was something they wanted to keep hidden. The more they said, the more I got it, and it was clear none of us wanted such a thing. Far left dude again. Yeah, far left dude again, my favorite man.
Oh, right, yeah. I really think it's gonna come back and bite us in the ass if we let this kid go.
The way he looked at me made me feel as if he read my mind.
So we should just kill people now. Now I'll see what we do with this kid when we get back.
I agree with the commander. If we remain here, we are likely to be seen again. Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed, as though he had forgotten the whole ordeal. If they have this sort of reaction to blood, then they don't seem like they'll be very practical.
Damn.
He peered down at the corpse, his face in a motionless mask. When he looked back up at his companions, however, his eyes narrowed.
As for you two, drop the Hichikata and Commander act. Keep a low profile. What? Come on, you can't be serious. Aren't our blues a bit of a giveaway?
He was right. Even I had heard stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down in the streets, but I didn't know how to confront the dilemma of pretending I didn't see any of these horrors. My mind swirled through a pool of worries and thoughts, almost as if I was being drawn into their world. A world where there is nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night with corpses for company. What shall we do with the bodies then? There doesn't seem to be any physical signs. Hijikata thought for a moment before he spoke.
Just take their blues. Yamazaki can deal with the rest.
As you wish.
Ah, another man cut down in the street, huh? Doing a great job, aren't we?
He gave a derisive bark of laughter.
So long as we keep our mouths shut, I don't think anyone will know we were here.
He looked directly at me, and I got the distinct feeling his words weren't for his companions. It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It was a dangerous city after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen, that was something else entirely. If death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought, then the city itself must surely be mad.
Ah, yes. We did save you, didn't we?
Oh, Azure says, you think necromancers smell like corpses, or do they keep themselves pretty tidy? That's a good question. I wonder.
Probably smell like formaldehyde.
Yeah. Huh? I didn't realize right away he was speaking to me. When I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean you saved me? Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they saved my life. I stood up steadily as I could manage, brushed some dirt off my clothes, and bowed. Thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking you earlier. There was so much going on, I was a little confused. I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Hajime also looked confused. His eyes were wide, and he had an expression I couldn't place. Hijikata looked as though he'd taken a bite of something sour. I sighed deeply before continuing. I know it seems weird to say that, but you told me I should say thanks, so I looked up. Saito and Hijikata both stared pointedly at anything but me, and the third man was shaking with laughter.
Oh, man. Well, my apologies. I certainly did tell you to, didn't I?
He broke out in laughter again, so much so that he was forced to wipe a few tears from his eyes as he straightened up.
Well, you're welcome. I'm Soji Okita. Nice to see a kid who knows how to be polite.
Thank you for helping me. Not quite sure what else to do, I bowed again.
The one you should be thanking for saving you is Hajime Saito over there. And this bossy guy here is... What the hell do you think you're doing, Okita?
Sir, I read your concerns, but we must move. Where mirth was inspired was gone. The man called Saito now spoke with quiet urgency. The man named Okita grabbed hold of my wrist, smiled, and led us down the street. His grip was a touch too tight to be friendly, his fingers like iron cables around my arm. There was no question about my situation. I quickly picked up on the notion that if I were to run, I would be killed instantly. My life was in the hands of these strange men. I set my jaw and stood up as straight as I could. My eyes crept up from the blood-stained coat and met Saito's gaze. It would be best if you prepared for the worst. I doubt this will end well for you. His words were like a dagger to my stomach. What was going to happen to me? Was I going to die? As we walked through the bleak Kyoto night, I felt horror crawl its way up my spine once again. The cause of my horror wasn't the gruesome end that awaited me, but something else entirely. I spoke with these men and watched them speak, standing next to a warm corpse soaked in blood. That I had done such a thing terrified me in an altogether different way. Perhaps this is what it's like to go mad. Getting to see the opening again. Heck yeah. But this time without interruptions.
Ooh, it's a nice transition.
Nee.
The ripple.
Nee. It's very good. Also, the anime opening for this show is really good. I definitely recommend listening to it because the anime opening is so good.
Yeah. So there's an anime of this as well?
Yeah, there's an anime of this as well, but it's not as good as the game.
Ah, okay, sad.
Because it kind of ruins Chizuru's characterization in that.
Ah, yeah.
I feel like almost all, like otome game adaptations kind of ruin the main girl. Like, she always ends up becoming, like, nothing in the animes, and I'm like, okay. Big sad.
Sad.
This opening is good, too.
Hello.
People who write things don't like writing women.
It's true. Yeah, it's sad. But hi, Doodle. I love you so much.
Hello.
Doodle, you're the best.
No, you.
No, you. Do you want to join us in speaking roles in this game?
Sure, why not? I missed Saturday. I might as well help.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Let's go. There's a lot of characters in this game, so we have plenty to work with.
Hell yeah. I am sorry I missed Saturday.
No worries.
I dipped out on visiting my sister the last time.
I see.
I didn't want to make her mad because she's pregnant.
Oh, I see.
The last thing I needed to make my pregnant sister upset with me because I refused to visit her.
Yeah, that makes sense. No worries. That's understandable. And as I said before, like with these streams, no one like has to come to them. Like I just want these streams to be a time where we can all kind of hang out and have a good time, whoever's available, you know. So if
showing up, bro.
Heck yeah. I love hanging out with all of you.
I like hanging out with you even more than you like hanging out with me. How about that?
I'll fight ya.
I'll bite you right on the nose. Don't try me.
Did you see the achievement I just got? Nobody else makes me bleed my own blood but me, is what it was.
Hell yeah. Me at my uterus.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. Azure said, congrats on the new kid in your life.
It's only about, like, 1, 2, 3. The 7th one.
Incredible.
Imagine bleeding someone else's blood.
No snap. Crazy. Was it morning? What happened to me? I attempted to recollect myself. Yes. Right. All at once, the events of the previous night rushed back to me. This isn't my room. My limbs were snugly bound in tight knots, so all I could do was wriggle around in bed, twisting the blankets around me.
How did she sleep like that?
I know, right? I guess it must have been very exhausting. Like, she did travel all the way to Kyoto, and then wandered around Kyoto for a whole day, then had that whole event happen.
Then witnessed a whole murder, and then she got kidnapped, so yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I guess she was just so tired she was able to pass out no matter what.
Just like it seems to happen to these protagonists a lot.
Yeah.
Just to get tired and pass.
It's called I have trauma now disorder.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeping trauma disorder.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, also, Azure said, join the club, Doodle. My brother just had his 6th one, and my sister has 3.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna have so many nieces and nephews. You gotta start collecting them.
Yeah.
I've only got the one nephew.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I think I only have a couple as well. But I never see them, because I'm so far away.
You need at least 5 nibblings to join the club.
Heck yeah. I yearned for the comfort of my own futon, but the futility of such thoughts only forced me to confront the reality of my situation. If only I could wake from this strange nightmare, but I could not. Those men from the night before must have taken me with them.
We've only just started this romance game, we're already tied up in bed.
Yeah. Really starting off from the top, you know? To the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. A military unit made up of Ronin, the purpose of which was to restore public order in Kyoto and counteract the local anti-shogunate forces. So, also, I need to point out that because this game is only half of the original game, like, from my memory of the routes, like as I said, there's not much romance in this game. Most of the romance tends to happen at the end of the routes in the original, which means that we're basically, during this entire game, we're not really gonna see much romance.
Oh yeah.
Like it's mostly focused on like the history and the story and all that jazz, with like some little sprinkles of romance thrown in there.
You gotta get to know people before you can get to the real juicy stuff.
Yeah, heck yeah. It's why I really, as I said, Hakuoki is one of my favorite like visual, not even just otome or dating sim, but my favorite visual novels of all time, because it's really well written and it's mostly story focused.
You have to admit that you're not playing this on visual novel night because you didn't want Zach to voice one of the characters.
Yeah. Also another reason is because like we don't really play visual novels on visual novel night. I was already saying last time that we should rename it to BM night. Because that's what it really is.
Yeah.
Bowel movement night.
Yeah, exactly.
We could just call it game night.
Heck yeah, let's go. What will happen to me now? I inhaled
Hang
deeply.
night.
What?
Hang night.
Hang night?
H-A-N-G. Hang night.
Heck
Hang
yeah.
out night.
For a second, I was like, the only thing that popped into my head was like hanging. Like someone getting hanged, and I'm like, what?
Such dark thoughts. Playing too many visual novels.
Yeah, playing too many visual novels. That's what's happened. I inhaled deeply.
That's scary.
Yeah, big beef.
You can't big beef this one away.
I inhaled deeply, lying down to await my fate. It was at that moment that the door slid open and a kind-looking man stepped through.
Oh, can we marry this guy?
I don't think so.
Do you want to voice it?
I see you finally awoken. This is no way to treat a guest of ours. Please wait. I'll loosen the ropes, alright?
His smile quirked as he removed my ropes. My wrists, however, were left bound. And you are?
Of course. How proper of me. My name is Genza Buro Inoue.
You're too close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get really close.
Yeah. Captain of the Shinsegumi 6th Division, a native of Edo. He studied swordplay with Kondo, Hijikata, and Okita. He is sometimes referred to as Gen by his close friends. Thank you, Inoue.
Now, if you would follow me, I've just flipped to the right so that you could. They've been discussing what to do with you since morning.
I love that you pointed out the fact that the thing flipped to the right. Amazing.
For now, they've decided to hear about what exactly it was you saw last night.
Okay. I nodded curtly and struggled to stand, but my body was sore from being bound up all night. Anyway, he treated me with something like courtesy, but it was clear that I was in a lesser position. He must have been able to guess my thoughts, however, because he smiled at me and winked.
Let's fuck tonight. I know this is scary.
Oh no.
Truly, gentlemen, you don't need to worry.
Also, I see what was written in the chat.
Honestly, right, Anya.
Honestly, like pretty much all the guys in this game are actually like well written, so that's kind of impossible. Unless like the new routes turn out to be garbage, which I won't know until we get into it. Oh. Even at home, I heard rumors of the vicious Shinsegumi that were unflattering. It was hard to imagine that the people in charge of such an organization were gentlemen.
Oh, the youngest man, Toto.
Yeah, Toto.
Toto is about your age, or perhaps slightly older. And there are a pair of guys named Nagakura and Harada who are very lively, so you'll be fine.
Despite
I've heard of Dodo. It's very popular. It's like a bullet hell shooter.
Heck yeah. When is Reimu coming in? True route, let's go. Despite Inoue's reassurances, it was difficult for me to trust what I was hearing as accurate. Excuse me.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah. Inoue led me to a room and opened the door. I stepped inside and found myself surrounded by the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Their eyes dug into me like sharp knives. I stared before me and then gulped nervously.
Good morning. I take it you slept well?
Well, it wasn't particularly comfortable.
Oh, is that so? Because I went to have a look at you earlier. You didn't budge, no matter what I poked.
What a little freak!
Don't face it like that. You were knocked out cold, and you looked snug and cozy. You're asleep.
What? He's only teasing you. Soji didn't go anywhere near your room. Can you guys see why Soji is my favorite?
He's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because Okita is often written as kind of a troll in various forms of media.
Yeah, cool. It must be some historical thing. Like, he must have actually been like a prankster in real life.
Yeah.
Quite silent, I stared at Okita. Soji Okita, captain of the Shinsegumi's 1st Division. He is a native of Edo. His brilliant prowess as a swordsman developed by training with Kondo and Hijikata. He's great. I love him.
I love you more.
No, you! With his grin still spread along his face, he glanced over to Saito. Hajime Saito, captain of the 3rd Division of the Shinsengumi. He is a native of Edo. He wields his sword in his left hand and fights with incredible skill.
I just wanted to see you squirm a little. Not very nice of you, Hajime, calling me out like that.
I don't think Saito did anything wrong. You, on the other hand...
Shut it. You sound like a bunch of kids.
Ichikata's voice brooked no further insubordination. Okita shrugged and fell silent, but the smile lingered through his bright eyes. Toshizo Hijikata, the commander of the Shinsengumi. He is Kondo's longtime friend who helped form the Shinsengumi in Kyoto. Kondo calls him Toshi. We don't know who this is, so Hijikata, this is your witness. Oh, it's these three. The man who spoke was, well, he looked more like a boy than a man. Maybe this is the youthful Shinsengumi captain that Inoue was describing to me. Boy! I'd imagine the leaders of the Shinsengumi to be older, maybe even middle-aged men, but their faces were still blessed with youth. In fact, one might even confuse them at first glance for a gang of What? What does that mean? What?
Bohemian songs!
What?
They're gonna start singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Let's go!
Ah, titties.
Heck yeah, look at those titties.
I'm missing.
Yeah, we don't really know who's talking. Since we don't know who's talking, I'm just gonna voice these people and then we'll decide once they have actual sprites.
Sure.
Oh boy, I didn't mean to do that, but let's save anyway. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. Okay, we're good. He's a real stick, huh? Just a kid. You're calling him a kid, Heisuke? That's rich. Right you are. To anyone else, I'll beat you two. Oh my gosh, I'll bet you two look like a sad pair of scrawny little brats. I'm the only one who gets to call him out on being scrawny punks because I'm a mature adult and all. Mature adult? Anything that comes out of your mouth is basically nonsense, Shinpachi. Two nearby men replied to Toto with very mocking but lightheaded tones. Heisuke Toto, captain of the Shinsegumi's 8th Division. He is a native of Edo. He is the youngest captain and is known for being particularly energetic.
Well, if he's energetic, then probably Anya should voice.
Yeah, I'll voice Heisuke. I've already resigned to my fate even before I described him. I was like, it's gonna be Heisuke that I voice act. I somehow recalled Inoue's description of the two energetic members. His mention of them was brief, but seeing them in person was an eye-opening experience. He said the short-haired
They
one...
don't look very energetic.
Yeah, well, but they will be. Just in this scene, they're...
The one in the middle looks dead inside, actually.
Yeah.
Excited to play that one then.
Heck yeah. But yeah, they are a lot more lighthearted. Just in the scene, they're being very serious.
Hello, Luna. Nice of you to... Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, Luna just left. Was like, nah, I'm not joining in on
She
this.
came in, got her toy, and left.
He said the short-haired one was Nagakura, and the other with longer hair was Harada. The captain of the Shinsengumi 2nd Division. He is a native of Edo and a skilled swordsman. He is upbeat and cheerful, and he frequently helps raise the morale of the men in his compound.
He doesn't look very cheerful right now.
Yeah, he doesn't look very... It's so weird that we can't check the second thing. So I guess we just go.
There must be a way to do it, but...
Yeah. Leave off, you grumpy old bastards.
The hell I will, boy. You think you can get away with talking to us like that?
You want to be Harada, Doodle? It's the red-haired dude over there on the left.
Okay. Besides, I'm hardly mature enough to be called old Shinpachi. Maybe, but not me.
You son of a bitch. I thought we were friends.
Ha ha ha! Come on, Shin. When an adult gets so worked up over something like that... Their back and forth report seemed developed into a rhythm from years of friendship, which predated my arrival and made me foreign here. I sensed something apart from curiosity towards me, though, like a feeling of animosity. Despite their cheerful levity, they had not forgiven my presence among them. Suddenly, I wanted very much to go home. I wanted to leave this place and never return. My chest tightened, and I stared down, hoping to wake up in bed with all of this only a memory. Who wants to be this dude? He's glasses man. Yeah, you could be him.
I apologize for all this frightening behavior. Please don't let the men unsettle you.
Oh. His voice was calm and warm, and I felt myself relax, even if only a little bit.
Are you serious? You're the scariest out of all of us, Sanan.
Keisuke Sanan, oh my god, a colonel in the Shinsengumi. He is a native of Edo. He acts primarily as a consultant to the chief of the Shinsengumi, Isami Kondo. But yeah, you see what I mean by there's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
As he finished...
3 people now.
Yeah. As he finished speaking, the rest of the men nodded solemnly in agreement. I wondered, who could possibly command such fear and respect from these men?
Oh, how crude. I can understand their feelings, but our demon elf commander to feel such as well. It is up to me to hold the integrity of the Shinsengumi to the highest standard. It is easy to be confused, however, when our standards, or rather, our taboos, are at the mercy of our own Hijikata. This is true, but now is not the time to be talking about this.
And the man called Sadan and Hijikata stared at one another with a smirk. Which one of us should be Toto? Or Kondo?
You're lucky to have a friend like Sanan, Toshi.
Heck yeah. Hijikata and Sadan sounded distant when they spoke to one another, not exactly friendly. Still, the man who spoke had certainly sounded as though he thought they were friends.
Oh, my apologies. I haven't introduced myself. I am Isami Kondo, chief of the Shinsengumi.
One of the founders of the Shinsengumi, an organization created to help keep the peace in Kyoto. He is originally from Edo. When you say chief, do you mean to say you are the most important man in the Shinsengumi?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't call myself the most important. It's more accurate to say I represent everyone. Toshi over there is the commander, and Sanan is our colonel.
Ah, Kondo, why are you telling him all this?
Oh, I got confused. You still think you're a guy.
Yeah, they
Oh.
still think I'm a guy, yeah. Well, you'll see. Some of them
Pretty
still
sure
think
Okita's
I'm a
pointed it
guy.
out.
Yeah, Okita knows, as you can probably guess, but a lot of the other ones still don't know.
Why? Do you think it's a bad idea?
Well, unless you think this kid should learn our secrets, maybe you should keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. Why bother anyway? We owe him nothing.
Perhaps you all raise good points, but isn't it rude to ignore your guests?
Haruda glanced over at Kondo and let out a bark of laughter.
Am I
Yeah,
understand, right?
yeah.
True, we've already brought him here. It's not like telling him will hurt us.
Kondo had looked rather disappointed when Hijikata spoke, but he perked up at Haruda's words. Despite knowing him for 5 minutes, it's easy to see that his words resonated well with his men. He had a sort of charisma that simply drew you in, a man who was impossible to hate.
Well, let's get back to the business at hand. Can you give me a full report of last night?
Last night, we were on patrol when we encountered some wandering Ronin. They drew steel, so we fought. Some of our men subdued the Ronin, but in doing so exposed their failure. As he finished, Saito turned to look at me. I didn't see anything. Even with my insistence, Hijikata continued to stare at me with a harsh glance. Saito remained expressionless, and the smile on Akita's face didn't change. Huh? You sure you didn't see anything? Yes, I didn't see anything. Really? Well, if that's true, then I don't see what the problem is.
Hold on a minute. I thought Soji said you helped with some of her men with something.
No, that's not true. I glanced over at oh my gosh, at Okita, but his smile had remained. Whatever he was thinking was a mystery to me. I was running away from the Ronin. Then some people with Shinsegumi uniforms appeared. Really, they sort of rescued me.
Then that means you saw them slicing up those Ronin, right?
I couldn't exactly deny that. However, I knew that choosing to stay silent would implicate me deeper than lying would.
So, in other words, you actually saw everything. The whole ugly business. You've got an honest heart. It's not really a bad thing, but...
I wasn't sure what to make of Haruda's words. My presence seemed bad for the Shinsegumi. Would their next words be once condemning me to death for being at the wrong place and time? My voice shook, but I knew I had to try. I won't tell anyone. I promise.
It seems unlikely this attack was mere chance. Yet it seems unlikely too that you are an enemy. Despite your good intentions, you could be taken for interrogating. Could you handle torture?
His voice was still warm, but his words were cold.
Torture?
Yeah, I began to feel my chances at life slip away.
What are your thoughts on torture?
Yeah, staying quiet is easy, but if you were captured, you would have no loyalty to us or our secrets.
Yeah, we would have no way of verifying your word. It wouldn't be very smart to just let you go. Let's just kill the kid. You want to keep someone quiet? It's the only sure way.
But...
Don't be so cold, Soji. What do we gain by murdering a civilian?
Oh, don't give me that look. I was just kidding.
Perhaps it should have sounded like it. After being rebuked by Saito, Okita gave a playful smile.
But surely there must be something we can do. After all, we're talking about a child.
I have no wish to kill him either, but ignoring the unlikelihood of his trustworthiness is foolish. Well, I would like to hear the commander's opinion. What do you say, Commander Hijikata?
The men looked to Hijikata. Listening intently, he sighed and glanced around the room.
Last night, we killed members who broke our code. This kid should not have been involved at all. I imagine that puts an end to the matter for you? Well, he probably saw something, but I doubt he really understands what it was. Even so, this is serious. We have bigger things to consider. We have to keep this under wraps. If rumors break that soldiers of the Shinsengumi are thirsty for blood, it will be problematic.
Shinpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikate's face looked grim.
Hey, watch your mouth. It is our responsibility to regulate all warriors who violate our code. They will be dealt with. Well, it doesn't change the fact that this kid saw something.
This is you, Doodle.
Sorry.
No worries.
Soji has a point, but still, I'll do whatever Nijigata and Kondo tell me to do. Okay, fucking sheep.
I think we ought to let him go. He doesn't know everything, you know? What do you mean, everything? I couldn't help but wonder aloud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence.
Shut it, Heisuke.
Oops, my bad.
Uh-oh, well, this is going to make it even harder for us to simply let you go. A man should always be ready to face death. You should make peace with yours.
A man?
I'm not a man.
Oh, that's right. They still believe me to be a boy. It's like the scene in Lord of the Rings. I am no man. With everything else that had happened, I completely forgotten how I was dressed.
Very true. A brave death is always an option. When I was young, I committed honorable.
What? Didn't really stick though, did it, Sano?
Their jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous laughter. Commander, since we can't seem to reach a consensus, can I send the child back to his room? If you hear something you shouldn't while you're here, then we'll have no choice but to kill you. He was right. If I remained with them, then I could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he mentioned it for my sake, but rather as a possible concern for their group. I was still relieved when he brought it up.
Indeed, let's do that. Plus, there's something I want to look into. I agree. There are too many careless men here. Come on, Sanan. What are you looking at me for?
That ought to be pretty obvious. We're all guilty of being careless. Especially you, Heisuke.
Hey, back off! It was just a mistake, alright? I could hear Toto's voice rise as everyone turned to look at him. He looked at them for a bit, then turned to me and mumbled in a voice I could barely hear. I'm sorry. I was still apprehensive about what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. But he seemed to understand. I currently managed to nod. It was the most I could manage.
Alright, Saito. Take care of the kid. By take care, I mean, like, bring back to the room, not like bring him out back.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta make sure you let him know. Noted, shall we go? Alright. Warrior
Yes,
record
Commander,
has been unlocked.
I understand, wink. No,
Yeah.
no, I mean really just...
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Warrior record.
Probably safe at some point.
Is it gonna be revealed to them that you're not actually a boy?
Yeah, and it's not one of those things where like it takes the whole game for them to figure out. They're gonna figure it out soon.
God, thank God.
What is this?
When there's a game
Oh.
long misunderstanding.
Yeah. So this is new. Look, when I played Hakuoki, there was a status screen, but the status screen was very like rudimentary. It just showed like a bar and would tell you like, oh, like you have to switch more on the bar now because you made these choices, that sort of thing. But in this game, it seems like this is going to be our status screen that lets us know like how much they like us, and I guess that these flowers will be colored in as they like us more, because some other games have done similar things.
Cool.
So to see how we're doing with certain characters, I think we'll just have to like come back here and look. And as you can see, so these are the original routes. We have Hijikata, Soji, Hajime, Heisuke, Harada. Nagakura was not in the original. He was not an original route. Sanan was also not a route before. Most of these guys were not routes. Kazuma was over there. So basically there's 6 new routes that I've never seen in this game.
Jeez.
Which is why they've kind of had to split it in two. Because that's a lot.
A lot of characters.
Yeah. After returning to my room, I'd spent some time reflecting upon my state and my still bound hands. Some of them were like characters that were in the original game, but they just were side characters, but now they have like full routes.
Cool.
The rumors spoke of the Shinsengumi as vicious men, but they seemed more intimate, human to me. Still, their presence or their being lingered through me as if to say, we are not killers, but to protect our code, we must bring death. Remaining here is only bringing me closer to the possibility of them killing me. Also, I'm gonna say, yes, I have played through this game before, because I played it on my phone. But several things here. One, I have a terrible memory. So I have no memory of any of the choices, really. So
I have no memory of this place.
Yeah, I have no memory of the choices. Also, with all the new routes, there's gonna probably be totally new choices and routes and everything. So basically, I'm pretty much still walking into this blind. So my perspective on choices that should be made is based on just my like personal what I would choose in that situation, rather than me trying to go for a specific route or anything like that, because I legit don't remember what goes for what. But yeah, I don't know if I can convince them to spare me. Just as I have no loyalty to them, they have no loyalty to me, only the Shinsengumi. But then, they mention a man must always be ready to face death, so are they still mistaking me for a man? Could I possibly risk exposing my true identity in exchange for mercy on my life? But this could just as easily backfire for me, and it could exact an even worse fate. I was truly at a loss for what to do. So we can find a way to escape or attempt to explain my situation.
Escaping seems like doomed to fail.
Yeah.
Escaping seems like it'll lead to death.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the one that I would go for, though. Like, if I was in that situation, I would probably just think, like, maybe if I just escaped, then then we would probably...
They're gonna hunt you for sport, even if you do escape.
Yeah, but then I could just go back home and be like, well, I guess I'll try another time.
We just put on women's clothing, don't
they? Yeah, they'll never figure it out. That's the thing. Because I feel like I would think, well, even if I tried to explain my situation, like, that just might make things worse. Because if they find out I'm a woman, like, it might make it so they're even more willing to kill me. Because it's like, oh, it's not even a man, it's a woman, you know?
You have a very twisted view on the world, Anya.
But you have to admit, like, if you're thinking about in the past, like, I was thinking, like...
Anya's a kid!
But it's based on the past!
It's a game!
It's based on the past!
Someone made it up!
So what are we doing?
I want to vote for the second one.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so we're doing it. Let's go. I would tell them the truth. Perhaps if I did, they'd understand my dilemma.
Bad end.
Perhaps they think I'm from Kyoto as well. There isn't really... Well, there are bad ends, but I would say most of them are later on. These choices are more for determining what routes we get. So, because basically, depending on our choices, we'll get different heart points with different characters. Though, not getting all heart points with characters isn't necessarily a problem. It's just, like, whoever you get the most with. Perhaps...
Can I get some heart points with you?
Heck yeah, you already have a bajillion with me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Perhaps...
What about you, Rolf?
No.
Big beef.
No, I'm kidding. I just don't have any to give, I'm sorry.
Big beef.
Oh no.
I have no heart.
Where's the fucking love in this family?
Perhaps they think I'm from Kyoto as well. After I told them I'd only just arrived in Kyoto, they might lower their guard, or so I hoped. I didn't know anyone in Kyoto, and I'd only come to look for my father. I haven't even told them I'm a girl. The rest perhaps could wait, but I felt that it might be wise to tell them I was a girl. I took a deep breath and screamed loudly, "Excuse me! Is anyone there?"
I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah. Students, After a few moments, the door slid open, and several faces appeared around the edges.
Well, you've got some balls. No, that's the whole thing. I'm gonna try to... We've got you locked up, and you think yelling will save you. Alright, you called us. Here we are. Have you made up your mind about dying?
No, that's not it. I want you to hear me out. It's unlikely we will spare you out of sympathy. As long as you understand, say what you wish.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I sympathize with your awful luck. May you rest in peace.
It's so funny. A man should know when to accept his fate. Like, this is what I was expecting when I was making these choices. I was like, oh boy. They all spoke as if they'd already consigned me to death. It was time to make my choice. I decided to tell them why I'd come to Kyoto, decided to tell them that I wasn't a boy, or gave up.
Just give up and
Yeah.
die.
We're definitely not doing the last one. I would never do that.
No.
Well,
Maybe start with the first one? I don't know.
maybe, I don't know. I'm leaning towards the second one, but I think I'm good with either one.
Yeah. I'm more towards the first one as well, because, like, the whole reason we disguised ourselves as a boy was to avoid, like, we don't know these men. Like, a whole big reason why Chizuru disguised, like, it's important to look at this from a period perspective. She disguised herself as a boy because being a woman is even more dangerous in Kyoto, because, you know, I don't want to, like, go into it, but so I feel like as a woman from that time who went through all the trouble to disguise themselves as a boy, like, it just wouldn't make sense to be like, actually, guys, I'm a woman.
We'll keep that as a trump card, basically.
Yeah.
Final gamble.
I have titties. I turned to Saito. He was cold, but I hoped that meant he would hear reason as well. I'm looking for someone. Unfortunately, I don't actually know anyone in Kyoto. I only got here yesterday afternoon. That means we got some points with Saito.
Oh, he figured it out.
Yeah. Then you're nothing more than a lone girl. Oh my gosh, a lone girl. More than a young girl looking for someone to help you.
Yeah, well, Kyoto's not safe to wander around on your own. Wait, what, a girl? What? In our headquarters?
Wait, let's see Warrior Record, just to make sure that I was right about this. Oh, it's not... Wait.
Not yet, maybe.
Maybe it's too early. Oh yeah, it might be like... It might still need some time. Yeah, it might need some time. I'm pretty sure that lets you know, though. Because that's how it happened before. Let's save again, since we're on the menu. You figured it out? A careful look is all it takes. You dress like a man, but you act like a girl.
You act like a girl.
Wait a minute. Are you really a girl? Well, yeah, now that you mention it, I guess you did seem kind of girly. Yeah,
I
yeah,
just thought you were gay.
Heck yeah. I mean, of course, I realized it right away.
Hi, how could I? So, about me thinking you're a man, well,
Struck dumb, huh, Shinpachi, you horny bastard? Well, makes sense, I suppose. You don't exactly have a lot of experience with ladies. Ha! Virgin!
well,
Heck yeah.
thanks for letting me know right away.
Or maybe he's just gay. He's only
Yeah.
had experience with other men.
You're a girl, but I thought you were hot.
Yeah.
Our bisexual king.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Experiencing bi panic for the first time.
Heck yeah. It's like the in Mulan. It's like in Mulan. It's Mulan.
Hell yeah.
Let's go find Hijikata. Of course you'll come with me. You can explain yourself when we're all together. Oh, alright. He looked at me silently and nodded. I nodded too, unsure of what else I could do. There I was, surrounded once again by the leaders of the Shinsengumi.
I noticed you were rather slim, and your features were far too soft to be a man's. But to think you were a lady this whole time.
Kondo was nodding his head repeatedly as if he were agreeing with a very intelligent suggestion.
Mhm.
For him to notice the
so
softness of my
yeah.
features, it flattered me a bit.
He's so woke, because
Yeah.
he already determined you are not a man, but he didn't assume you were a woman.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Wait, which one is this again?
This is me. Once you know she's a girl, she really doesn't look like a boy at all, does she?
So we bound her and left her for the whole night. Oh dear.
And he didn't notice when he untied her.
Yeah.
Well, she claims to be a girl, but it's not like we have any. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Any actual proof, right? I want to see some titties.
Proof? This is you,
Proof.
Doodle.
Really? Not obvious enough for you, huh? Alright, will you feel better if I strip her down? No, you absolutely will not. To suggest this thing is preposterous. I just figured it was the quickest way to settle the question. But I won't force it.
Well, if you really are a girl, then killing you would feel kind of wrong.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, bud.
Why are you so naive? It doesn't matter. If we have to kill her, she dies. Exactly. However, her gender is irrelevant. Killing in general is wrong. We are organized to protect the citizens of Kyoto. We would ill-serve the public good by murdering civilians in cold blood. We would have to do it hot-blooded. It's much better.
Yep.
Yeah, but if this girl or boy is a threat to the peace, that's a horse of a different color.
The Shinsengumi had already suffered a very gruesome reputation in Kyoto. If rumors spread that their men were thirsty for blood, things weren't likely to go well for them. Kyoto would banish them, and with no one to protect the people, the city would erupt into chaos. Each of their members deeply understood the consequences of behaving rashly in these times.
My apologies, but I took the liberty of checking through your belongings. It would appear you came all this way from Edo by yourself. You didn't seem to have much, some clothing, some pocket change, a few letters, and this sword. One of the letters was from Ryojin Matsumoto, a shogunate-approved doctor. I assume you saw him? What is your purpose, Chizuru Yukimura?
The minute my name was spoken, the vibe in the room shifted immensely. Everyone wore a stunned expression, eyes wide, and no words were uttered in response until...
Wait, Hijikata? That name?
Hey now, this can't be a coincidence. Now, wait a minute. We only need to determine if you are a threat. Will you tell us your side of the story?
At Kondo's behest, I stood up to speak. My name is Chizuru Yukimura. Under the watchful eyes of the leaders, I shortly described how I came to face them. How I lived in Edo, how I'd come to Kyoto to find my father, how lonely the city felt before I arrived.
Oh, then you're from Edo as well. You came all the way to Kyoto to find your father? So, who is your father?
My father is Kodo Yukimura.
So the dots are connected.
What are you talking about?
The handwriting within the letter does indeed match Kodo's, but... To think you were Dr. Kodo's daughter.
You know my father? The silence was enough to tell me that the revelation of my parentage caused a pronounced change in their behavior.
So you have been withholding information from us.
Huh?
You guys literally kicked her out the room.
Yeah, like what the frick? She never had a chance to say anything, and they're all like, you were holding information from us? Like, when was I supposed to say any of this? And I didn't even know. Like, how is she supposed to know that this information is important to them? Like, that's also another thing. Like, there's no way from her perspective that this information would be important to these people.
They could have just asked her name if it...
Yeah. Huh? What information are you talking about?
There's no point in lying to us now. Out with it. What the hell are you doing in Kyoto?
I just came to look for my father. I swear I don't know anything else.
You came to the city fully aware of what your father Kodo is doing.
I was only aware of my father being in Kyoto for his medical work, but I haven't seen him since last summer. That's all I know.
Ellipsis. Hichikata, it may be better for us not to press because she may not know anything after all.
So what
Or
do
could try to
you
torture.
know about my father? Where is he right now? Please tell me. The Shinsegumi is currently attempting to determine the whereabouts of Dr. Kodo Yukimura. You're after my father? So this means...
Oh no, you've got it all wrong. We're not, after him. We're before him.
I see. A huge wave of relief came over me.
He's a fellow supporter of the Shogun, but, well, he sort of disappeared a while ago.
There's a reasonable chance that the enemies of the Shogun have identified him as a threat. Ah! I let out an audible gasp, but Saito continued without paying me any mind. There is, of course, the chance he's still alive. Doctors skilled in Western medicine are quite rare. I wasn't sure what else to do, so I nodded. My heart pounded in my chest, threatening to burst onto the floor.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Splat.
Splat.
He's trained in this fancy new Dutch medicine. It's the wonders of a drug called cannabis, he says. Kondo, what do you make of her situation? Would it be in our interest to help her, seeing as we are all looking at this for the same person?
What exactly do you mean, help her?
I only mean to say we should cooperate with her until we find Kodo. With her assistance, I'm sure our chances of locating Kodo will have increased drastically.
Huh?
Looking for him may prove fruitless, however. If he's in disguise, spotting him will be difficult. You are his daughter, however, and you ought to recognize him no matter how he may have disguised himself, yes?
Yes, of course. I nodded as I spoke, while giving him what I hoped seemed like a steady, reassuring smile.
Besides, having her stay with us regardless can be of use to our headquarters.
Finally, someone without a penis.
Yeah. Basically, that's what they're thinking.
What do you say, Toshi? Sanana's making a lot of sense.
If it turns out that she doesn't know anything after all, then...
It's true. All I know is that my father headed to Kyoto, but I don't know anything else. And about last night, I didn't see anything.
Well, if she is his daughter, we can't really kill her, can we?
His eyes narrowed as he looked down at me.
If you promise to keep last night a secret, we'll let you stay until your father is found. Fair?
I promise that the Shinsegumi will do whatever they can to help you find Dr. Kodo.
Thank you so much! I never imagined something like this. I was elated to escape death, but not only had I survived, but I'd found my first decent lead.
You must be glad we won't be killing you, Well, won't be killing you just yet, at any rate.
He gave me the same wolfish grin. There was no denying that my situation was still less than desirable, but it didn't matter for now. Yes, I'm very glad. Against all odds, at last, I'd found help where I'd never have expected it, the Shinsegumi. My first day in Kyoto was quite the adventure. In spite of everything I'd seen, my fortune was improving with every step. I still had a long way to go, but keeping positive was my only hope.
Aren't you relieved, Yukimura? It's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure for me as well.
Hey, again? With her being a lady after all, I'm not sure that our all-male household is equipped for her needs.
We don't have any tampons.
Yeah.
You don't have any bras!
No!
You bring up a good point. What would you have me do?
Kondo crossed his arms and thought deeply. Should you require anything, you need only ask. We will do what we can to accommodate you. Thank you.
Well, I guess we'll have to be nicer to you now that we know you're a girl.
Oh my god!
Hey, I want to stab
Otherwise,
her.
I'm never gonna get laid up.
Yeah. Gee, it didn't take long for you to change your tune when you saw she was a girl Asian.
Whatever. Having a lady here at headquarters is sure gonna brighten things up, won't it?
The headquarters of the Shinsegumi, It was located in the Mibu area, and it was where members lived and took their meals.
Can't wait to smash.
I wasn't entirely sure I believe that sentiment.
I'm not sure our headquarters are up to standards for a lady, however. But then again, she's not a soldier, so we cannot expect to treat her as such. Then make her a page or something. Want an assistant, Kondo? What about you, Sanan?
An assistant to a samurai or noble, traditionally a young man.
Oh, come now, Ichikata. It's your idea, so you can't just pawn her off to someone else.
Ah, excellent. We can address Toshi with her.
Well, there you have it, Ichikata. I hope you'll take care of her. Sons of bitches. You can't just decide.
As I watched their back and forth, some of my earlier relief began to ebb away, and this is how the Shinsegumi had come to look after me. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okie dokie, Rolf. Thanks for
Good night, Rolf.
Thanks for hanging out, Rolf. I love you very much. I hope
Yeah,
you're enjoying this. I know.
Yeah.
I love you more than Anya does,
Alright. See you next time.
You see
Bye,
ya. Good night.
Bye.
Good
Good
night.
night. Sweet dreams.
Let's see. Oh no. I keep pressing the wrong button. First off, let's save. I'm gonna see if this has changed. I keep checking. I'm like, is it gonna change yet? It hasn't. Am I just like an idiot? I feel like this looks like the stats screen, right? So it should let us
Yeah.
know. I'm very confuzzled.
What happens if you press A again on one of them?
Nothing.
Nothing happened?
Yeah, nothing happens. Very weird. Very strange. We
Very
still don't
strange.
have record of service. We still don't know what the heck that means. Encyclopedia.
Record of service.
I can't believe this. But yeah, we have all the we have like a bunch of records here. Let's save again. I don't know. Should we continue a bit more or should we call it?
I think it's about 6:40.
Yeah.
You've been going for a really long time. Unless you're really feeling up to it, you should call it.
Yeah, because I probably should go eat and stuff, because it is over 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to do this without Rolf around too, since we just started it. So.
And there are a lot of characters to voice.
Yeah, there's a lot of peeps. But it's also, my throat is starting to die a little bit too, so there's that.
Oh no, Anya.
Biggest of bees, talking all stream. Azure, I've decided I don't do work on Monday nights just so that I can get like a little bit of break on Mondays after doing the stream. And then I do full work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Is kind of how I do it. But yeah, so I guess we'll save next for another time. What do you think so far, Doodle?
It's sure is an interesting game, Anya.
I honestly, I love this game a lot. It gets really good.
Hell yeah.
And we have a long way to go, because it's a long game. I'm so tiny on the screen. Do you see that? Tiny Anya on stream.
When are we getting Weed Anya? When is Weed Anya gonna be real?
One day. One day it'll be real. Believing in the dream.
Believe in the dream.
Anyways, thank you, Doodle, so much for joining, by the way. You helped out a lot.
I'm always happy to help.
Heck yeah. You're the bestest bean, Doodle.
This stream, Anya.
What was that, Doodle?
Thanks for the stream.
No worries. Thanks for joining. I love you so much, Doodle, and thanks, Azure, for being here the whole time, and thanks, Rolf, and thanks everybody who joined. Y'all are the bestest beans. As you're saying, thanks for screaming. Heck yeah. Let's go. Let's see who's live, by the way. Hopefully people will be live. Heck yeah, CB's is live. Let's raid CB's. But yeah, lately, every time after we finish VN night, Doodle, no one's live these days. Like, I'll be at the end of the VN night stream and no one will be live, and I'll be like, oh well, I guess I'm just ending the stream.
Oh no. It be like that sometimes.
Yeah, but luckily Mondays, apparently lots of people stream on Mondays.
Well, now that Elden Ring is out, lots of people are probably gonna be streaming.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah, several people that I follow are streaming Elden Ring. CB's is streaming Resident Evil Village. John Wolf is... Heck yeah. John Wolf is streaming Dead by Daylight. And everybody else is streaming Elden Ring. But yeah. I don't think I could ever get into the Souls-like games, but I'm glad everyone's having a good time.
Right.
Or I guess a sort of good time, since I guess it's hard to have an entirely good time when you're playing a game that actively tries to freak you over.
Alright. Thanks for streaming on.
Yeah.
Thanks for hooping.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining, and I'll see you guys on Saturday for more Stardew shenanigans, probably. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye, everyone!
Bye!
Okay, there we go.